went to open mic out East Long Island. I blanked out. I forgot all the lyrics. So I just kept repeating the chorus over and over again to the point where the crowd started singing it with me. My heart was like, oh my gosh, your 42-year-old brain can't remember the lyrics. But then the other part of me was like, you guys have gotten into this song so much that you're reciting the chorus with me. And so Ron was recording it. It's so dope. Amen, God.
All right, now real quick, I want to talk to my aspiring authors here today. If you've ever said, I want to write a book, but I don't know where to start, then listen up. I'm hosting a live writing masterclass this Sunday, and this is your opportunity to stop waiting and start writing. In this session, we're going to map out your book and get crystal clear on your specific message. You're going to take the first step toward making your book a reality. So if you're ready to invest in your dream and finally take action, then head over to joyoneil.com/your_story_matter. So click the link below in the show notes, and I'll see you inside. Welcome back to another lovely episode of 30 Minutes of Power, TOP, your one-stop shop for all things encouraging, entertaining, and motivating.
Just to get started a little bit. So how did you get into all this? Like where did the inspiration to do what you do now, where did that all start?
So if I'm going back into like my history box, I'm going back to being 8 years old and witnessing individuals in my family in an effort to entertain ourselves, right? This is early 80s, so we don't have cable. Very few TVs in my house have color. And so they're playing the dozens. So I don't know if you're familiar with the dozens. It's a game where you literally smack talk other people and there's no hold bar. So you're talking about cousins and siblings and aunts and nieces, like just talking smack to each other to elicit the largest laugh. And so this is what we do. So we're in circles, and I'm super observant. I later got diagnosed with ADHD and OCD. So like everything is something, right? And so during family get-togethers, we would sit together, and they would just like share all these stories about their youth and how this person did this, and it was risque, and this was shameful, and like. So I'm just like going around like, oh my goodness, like all these different stories of just like wild things. And so now we're in a circle and I'm wondering like, why is no one bringing up those things? And so I was like, I'm going to bring them up. Start sharing everything I hear at the dinner table, like, and the faces, you talk about brown blush, like the people are turning red, they're getting angry. One cousin tried to like punch me. And so for everyone else, like, the goal is to get the biggest laugh. For me, I was just like, I want to see the biggest expression. Like, I want someone to erupt. And that, unfortunately, that was like the seed. That was the seed being planted of you can really impact people. And so I became like a class clown, and I was always like using sarcasm and just quick-witted. But that started like this journey of like the power of words in my life. I was a little older, like my mom would take me to like the library. I didn't know she was struggling with depression or postpartum depression after she had my sister. And so she would just lock herself in like this little reading room in the library. And so she's rocking my sister in the stroller and she's just reading and just like catatonic state. And I'm left in the library with all these books. So I'm like, all right, I like reading. So I'm reading these books and I'm getting lost in the literature. Like I can see myself being one of the babysitter clubs, like Little Sisters, or I could see myself in one of the houses that R.L. Stein is describing in Goosebumps, right? Like I'm climbing up the tree in Berenstain Bears. Like I can see myself there. And so this usage of imagination to almost like transition or to like otherworldliness. I'm like, I really like this. Like, this is fun. This helps me forget about what my life is really like. This helps me forget that my parents don't seem to like each other at all. This helps me forget that I feel neglected because no one's paying attention to me. They work all day and then they sleep all night. They have varying schedules. So my father worked overnight. My mom worked during the day. So they were literally like ships passing in the night. And I was one of those ships, right? Like they're just passing each other. And so reading helped me escape. But the sad part of that is if you escape, you don't really deal with your stuff. And so a lot of things kind of came to the surface years later, maybe after I started studying the Bible, like really try to find this creative, the universe person. And then once I started doing like performances, we started going to this one church, this Pentecostal church, and they were like, oh, we want the young people to be involved. So started dancing, liturgical dance, praise dance, start singing a little children's choir. My first like taste of artistry. Later on in college, started doing theater. Uh, First choreography was just like, I don't feel confident because the only place I've sung and danced and acted is in church. And in my opinion, like, church is a safe space. So like you could suck and they'll still clap, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I was like, I don't trust these dudes. Like, I can really be bad. Like, I don't know. But to see strangers like cheer me on and clap, and like I was like, oh, okay. So I might have something here. And so all throughout high school, I had this like secret journal where I would just write poems and rhymes and songs. So I was writing songs and I would sing them only to myself. I would never perform them. And so when I got to college and people started like encouraging me and supporting me, I was like, let me see what happens if I take this secret book of poetry and songs and I started sharing them. And people were like, that's really good. You like the crazy things? You like the way I tell my story. So that lasted for a while. And then I met a couple of dudes who were really amazing stand-up comedians. I was like, I really want to do that. And this was back when people actually read the newspaper. When I got to New York, I was like, I need to learn what happens in the city because I'm from Chicago. And so I get here and I'm picking up the newspaper, both the Newsday and ad or a comedy class. I'm gonna go learn to be a comedian. Like I was brought back to those memories of playing the dozens and people like wanting to fight me because like whatever I said was so racy, it was so impactful. Like I was like, I think I want to do that again, but like different now. Like I'm not trying to hurt people or cause harm. And so I went to theater class, and like 6 months later, we graduated, and I started performing at Comics Comedy Club, and then Caroline, and then Laugh Lounge, and East Broadway, and I was like, I'm performing on the same stages as I would see like my heroes in comedy like perform on. So it was super dope. But I always felt like there was this wall, almost like a stagnation where I couldn't commit. What does this look like if I went all in? This is a fear. It's like, all right, what's the safest thing for me to do? And the safety net that I found was an education. Like I know a lot of people who they would gig at night and then like teach in the day, or they would waitress, right, in between gigs. I met a lot of actors and actresses. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to do that. I'm not sure. I did like 12 years of theater. But again, I kept telling myself like, oh no, that's because we're in college and they're my friends. Oh no, it's regional theater. They're supposed to like laugh and clap and cheer you on. So there was always like this thing where I convinced myself that I wasn't good enough. And so that perpetuated until let's say maybe like 3-4 years ago. And I started writing books. Now, mind you, I just told you, reading and writing was always there, but I never thought my stories were like good enough to be sharing with people. And so after I wrote the first book, people liked it. And I was like, well, I'll know you like it if you buy it. And they were buying it. And they were buying multiple copies and then giving it to friends. And then one woman, I got asked to do a speech at a Women's Day. And after I did it, she brought my book same day. And she texted me. She's a friend. She's like, this was an appetizer. Where's the rest? So that for me, that was like, we want more. Okay. Let's like I still have this book of poems and short stories. And so I'm like, all right, let's put something else out. And every time I tried to go back to put that stuff out, like it was always like a shut door. So I was like, all right. I convinced myself that like God doesn't want me to tell stories of who I used to be. He wants me to share like who I am now. And so most of my books are written in like more present tense. I do share about bits and pieces of my former life, but a lot of them is more of a reflective nature where I'm sharing the lessons that I learned along the way and like how they impact me now, like what's happening now. And those are much easier to come out. So the last 3 years, I've been writing and ghostwriting for other people and help other people publish their books and just share their stories. And so that's how we got here. from there. But I still do stand-up comedy. And if you sit too close and you try to heckle me and you're in the audience, I'll let you know now. I will get you. Shots fired. Everybody getting it. So, but thank God I haven't had to go there yet. But yeah, I almost happened once. I shut him down real quick, and he calmed down. But yeah, but so I don't. People are like, oh, why don't you go like gigging, doing stand up shows, theaters again? And I'm like, I don't have to. Like when you go into those spaces, you desire to gain some notoriety. You want to perfect your craft. You want to practice what you got. You're hoping someone sees you. You want more followers. Like there's an intentionality that comes when you go and perform. You don't go and audition for shows just cause. Like there's an intention that you have behind it. There's no intention that I have of being discovered and giving my own Netflix special. Like I'm convinced that like if that is what God wants for me, like it'll happen without me going into clubs because I did stand up from 2007 to 2005 years, just consistently going out gigging. The amount of vulgarity, profanity, pervasiveness, lewdness, drunkenness, sexual misconduct, both behind the stage and on the stage, in the audience. I'm an empath. That's a lot. And so each night going out and subjecting myself, I was just like, I can't. Like I can't. So I don't. So now if I gig, it's someone saying, hey, we heard of you. Somebody said something. We saw you. Come here. Those gigs are more like you already know what you're gonna get. And so you know that I have a standard. Like I don't do jokes about these things over here. Most of my jokes are about my antics growing up and like my youth. But it's more like universal. Like even though I might not look like you, like we probably went through the same stuff growing up. So that's what I love about like your podcast in particular, because you're trying to connect the dots, like find that commonality amongst all of us. And so that's really dope. I'm so sorry. I just keep talking. Yeah, I think feel like you asked me one question. And now coming up like 20 minutes. So I perform most of the times the songs that I would write would either be about broken hearts, love loss, hurt. Because I'm an empath, like if a friend shares with me an experience, oftentimes I would write a song about their experience. So even though it's not like, first person, it's not about me, those were songs I would usually write. And I think one time in college, I written a song about the Garden of Gethsemane. And the song is called 3 Times Tonight. And I was like, all right, this is super churchy, bro. Like, I think at one point in the song, it's Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani. Like, my God, why have you forsaken me? And I was like, all right. They were like, oh, we need submissions for the Black Box Theater. I don't know. Like, I'm gonna submit this Jesus Garden of Gethsemane song, and you're gonna laugh at me, or like they're gonna like shake their head and like raise an eyebrow. So I submitted it, and one girl was like, "Can I sing your song?" I was like, "You want to sing my song? You want?" I'm like, "Yes." But do you understand what this song is about? She's like, sounds like it's about Jesus' struggle to go to the cross. So you get the song? Like, so I think for me, that was affirmation that like there's something to the way that I write, the way that I emote, the way that I'm telling stories, that regardless of what the content or context is, like it actually lands. And I think that for me was like, oh snap, like I actually might be good at this. I actually might. And so some of the raps that I had in my secret notebook, I actually started performing, and they were well received. Like people actually like enjoyed them. And like most recently, I went to open mic out East Long Island, and I blanked out. Like I forgot all the lyrics. So I just kept repeating the chorus over and over again to the point where the crowd started singing it with me. And I was like,
I love that.
My heart was like, oh my gosh, your 42-year-old brain can't remember the words. But then the other part of me was like, you guys have gotten into this song so much that you're reciting the chorus with me. And so Ron was recording it. It's so dope. And I was just like, amen, God. And so those little God winks, like, those are like those little breadcrumbs where Jesus is like, for me, he's like, you're on the right track. This is something. Keep going. Keep leaning into this. Like, this is good. Keep this up. So those are just like consistent confirmations for me. This is where I'm supposed to be.
The God winks are that you're in the right place at the right time, those confirmations and and then those stepping out in faith, and you might not realize it in the moment. Are there times like to where you didn't know that next step, like the confirmation before you made that next step, or what was one of, I guess, the biggest ones where you took a risk or took a leap and you didn't know what the outcome was going to be? Like you didn't know which one was the right direction, but then once you did it, you're like, okay.
I think two, and they both are related. One was when I graduated college and I worked a full-time job, benefits, everything. They were training me to be like leadership in the organization. And I left. I left secure, salary, benefits. I'm in my 20s, early 20s. There are no family members that I go lean on. Like, it's just me. So to walk away from that full-time job, to then like see if I liked teaching. So I didn't go to school for teaching in undergrad. I went to school for theology and government. And so I went back to school in 2008 for education after I left my full-time job and went for 6 months and just did the whole gigging thing again. And so 2007, when I started doing stand-up comedy, ironically, I also started like going and teaching in like parochial schools and charter schools and private schools. So I feel like God was setting me up like, if you go in the classroom, you're going to need to be sharp. Like, you're going to need to be quick with it. You're going to need to shut some stuff down. Because I taught mostly middle school and high school. So I feel like God was like, all right, I know you probably think this is a crazy thing to do, to go to school for comedy, but it's going to serve you later. So leaving my job, going to comedy school, and then going into education, and most recently, leaving my full-time teaching job to like go see if I like this full-time writing thing. Like, like leaving it all behind. Like, there's no security. There's no, like, it wasn't like, oh, I built up this multi-million-dollar business on the side. So of course I can go leave my 6-figure job teaching. Like, it's okay. My pension that gets paid like to 2 generations after I die. Like who's walks away from that? Like, if you're called, you go. And so I felt called to go into the classroom for a season. And now I feel called to leave the classroom forever, for a season. I don't know. But the cool thing is that I don't have to know. I think that's part of the journey. But going into education, leaving a full-time job for a what if, and now leaving education, a full-time, very good paying job, leaving that to go and say, I think this is what I'm supposed to do. I think those are probably the 2 biggest risks. At least that's what my family tells me. I went into education believing that God called. So I think if you're looking at practical steps, I think one of the first practical steps would be identifying if you are being called to something or if you're running away from something. Because even like the last 5 years I was in the classroom, I was applying to jobs, like at least 100 a year. Every door closed. You're talking about like there's over 400 applications. All the doors are shut. And so I'm like, okay, maybe God wants me to stay, maybe. But during those times, I was running from something. I'm like, this is annoying. This is overwhelming. Like, I feel drained. Like, I don't feel appreciated. I don't feel like I'm making an impact. Like, and so for me, it was really like, okay, as long as I'm running from something, I don't think God's gonna bless it.
Hmm.
So I think that'll probably be the first step. Like figure out if you're running from something or if you're being called to something. The second one would be chase your bliss. Like after I did comedy school, I felt so fearless. It's just like whatever happens, like I've got comedy. Like that's legit how I felt. I'm like,
Yeah.
I know that I'm good in terms of wordsmithing. Like I'm good. Like on my feet. Freshman year of high school, like made state, doing impromptu and extemporaneous speaking. I'm like public speaking, I got you. I'm good. And so now to have this arsenal in my tool belt where I know how to construct jokes and I know how to like land them and deliver them and take the most mundane thing that you can do and then humorize it. I was like, I have a superpower now. So, okay, world, bring it on. Like, because if nothing else, I can go gigging and at least pay for rent and possibly one meal a day. Like, I got that much. But yeah, follow your bliss. Like, I enjoyed doing stand up. I think I care a lot more now how it's received just because I do have a brand. In my early 20s, I had no brand. There was no brand. It was just like, it's me. I'm here. Like it or not, figure it out. Don't care. So I think chase your bliss. I like practicals in 3. The third practical would be like figure out where you can find like community. I think when I first started doing stand up, because I was in that school, I now had like 12 to 15 people who were also like fresh comics. They had their networks of people, their networks of friends. So, hey, where are you performing? Do they need another like 5-minute set? Can I get on for maybe like 7 minutes, 10 minutes? And so that exposure and those people like, hey, when you went up there, this joke didn't like I'm getting instantaneous feedback from people who like we went through the same course. We went through the like so I think finding a community where people are doing something at a higher level than you, whether that be it could be a church, it could be a dance class, it could be a theater group or a troupe, it could be a mastermind, it could be anything. But you have to find other people who are doing what you want to do, both people who are at the same level as you, because you don't want to be discouraged.
Yeah.
But you also don't want to be stagnant. So you need to find someone who's like doing a little higher level than you. Right. So I remember I performed with Jim Gaffigan, like that was dope. And he tells he's like, kid, you're kind of funny. Like for me, like that's always gonna be like something.
Yeah.
And now to see him like in movies and all the things and then Saturday Night Live. And like Emma Willman performing with her, and now she's on My Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, and like like these are people I performed with. Like this is my community, and so you want to make sure that you have people who are doing it at a higher level than you, but also people who are right where you are. So yeah, finding community. So those 3, make sure you're being called, follow your bliss, and find community. Yeah, those even now, like I'm in a mastermind now and it's called We Should All Be Millionaires. I think you know the intention of this mastermind.
Yeah. Pretty clear.
Confusion. But in this group, I'm with women who are making the same amount I am, same level in terms of entrepreneurship. And then there are like the other people who are making 6 figures, 7 figures, some 8 figures already. But we're all in community with each other. So I think that's special, like being able to share their expertise so that we kind of like overcome those pitfalls a lot faster. And just being able to I'm a learner. I love learning.
Like that.
So both instances, I found basically a school. I went back to school. So comedy school, money making school. Right? That's what I'm in now. How to make money. But that follow your bliss thing is super important because right now, like I love storytelling. I don't know if you can tell in this interview.
Just a little bit.
I
just a
love
little bit.
storytelling, and I love helping other people figure out like what are those blocks that are preventing them from
Mhm.
telling their story.
Yeah.
Like what's hindering you from showing up as you?
Mm.
Because it's enough.
Mm.
It's more than
More
enough.
than
Right? Like
more
right in the
than
book.
enough.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah. So I think those three. If it doesn't matter what transition people are going into, if you can make sure that you're being called and you're not running from something,
Mhm.
that you're following like that thing that lights you up, like that thing that gives you energy, and you're like, yo, if no one ever paid me ever again in my life, I would so do this every day.
Mhm.
And then just find a community of people who are doing it and just join them. Like, hey, can I play with you guys? Can I play too? And more than likely they're gonna say yes.
Yeah.
And that's cool. Sometimes it's gonna
Mhm.
take a monthly charge.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
you be blessed and you're like, oh, you just want to hang out with me for free. That sounds great. I love that. That's fun. So yeah.
I liked a lot of what you said, and even just like the mentorship too, being around community and then being around people who've done more,
Mhm.
and then learning from their experiences and their failures so that, that might expedite yours as well so that you can unlock
Yeah.
others as well. So it's
Fail
kind of,
fast.
yeah, yeah. I
Fail
love
fast
that.
as fast as you can. Just hurry up and fail.
Yeah.
Because that failure, there's tons of lessons in that.
Mm.
Tons of lessons. And that fuels the next risk or the next fail, right?
Mhm.
So I think fast as you can fail, do it.
Yeah.
Fast. Fail as fast as possible. You heard it here first, folks. As fast as possible. Go fail. Just everybody go out and fail real quick. Go fail.
Yeah. Fail, go for no, the rejection.
Yes.
As soon as you can build up that rejection muscle.
Imagine being 23 years old and standing on the stage.
Mhm.
And here's the interesting part. We're talking about like early 2000s, like mid 2000s. Like the comedy scene in New York still wasn't very diverse. So in some of these clubs, I'm the only person of color, which is weird.
Mhm.
It's very weird.
Yeah.
So I am already other, and I'm doing comedy.
Mhm.
There's no script. There's no note card. It's
Mhm.
just you and a microphone and a whole bunch of people with high expectations and different expectations and just difference.
Mhm.
It's not like, oh, I am this character. I can hide behind my lines. I can hide behind this mask or this costume. Like it's just you and a microphone and people. Then the red light goes on and it's go time.
Yeah.
So you talk about fail fast. That's why people do as much comedy as they possibly can. That's why they hit so many places up. You want to fail as fast as possible. So you figure out what works and what doesn't work. But again, it's intentionality.
Mhm.
You don't go there just to go there.
Yeah.
You want to make sure that your jokes are tight, that they're solid, like you got your set down. Why? Because when someone knocks, if that is your goal,
Mhm.
you're going to be ready.
There's a lot of music, I think God speaks to me in the song. There was a couple of songs in there. I know we just,
Did you write them down?
yeah. The Wizard and I, This Is Me. It's kind of like, whenever you feel like what you're talking about with your talent, like this gift or this curse I have inside, or whatever it is, it's like, did that really just happen? Have I actually understood this weird quirk I try to suppress or hide? The talent that could, and then whatever helped me, whatever it is.
Mhm.
So that's like, I don't know. That was one of the things whenever he highlighted me, whenever you said that. And then you finally stepping out, the greatest showman, right? This is me.
Yes.
It's like, after being rejected.
Yes.
And
Well,
then
and that's the thing. Like, I don't know if I was ever rejected.
Yeah.
Like, I was projecting the rejection.
Hmm.
I don't think I've ever like flat out been rejected. Like whenever I've gotten the gall, the inhibition to put my talent on display, but I don't put it on display too often. So it's like, all right, well, if you only do it once out of 10 times, then that might have been just the once that it wouldn't have been rejected. But the other 9 times that you didn't do it, you would, right? Like, so can you ask your question again about the unity?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Y'all got to see this notebook, guys. Y'all got to see it because it was blank when we started. I usually people write the notes before the podcast interview. This is called reverse engineering. She's writing notes after the interview. Yeah. I love it. It's great.
So what you'll learn about me is that I love taking notes. I like taking in people, not only what they're saying in front of me, but also just making sure to remember as reminders. But yeah, on the unity, I know you were talking about when you were performing, you were one of the only individuals or people of color doing what you're doing.
You're talking about it at Queens Public High School. There were 4 of us. And when I left, the principal's Jamaican. like, I'm not saying that I was like, hey, yes, come. But I think when people came to check it out in terms of like, is this a place I want to work? Yeah. It's like, oh, we are here. Oh, I won't be the only one. I think for some people that is scary. Being the only is scary. So I'm like, all right, let me be the trailblazer. Let me go first. And then when I go and I have fun, it's a great time. And you'd be like, oh, it's fun. It's a great time. I'm coming too. Okay, great. And now I'm not the only one. Now we're all together. So I don't know if that answered any of your question, some of your question. Yeah. But I think for me, I prefer to be a trailblazer in terms of like invading spaces where diversity is lacking, comparative to creating my own space. Because here's the thing, I will go into a space where I feel like diversity is lacking, but simultaneously, I will create spaces where people don't feel confident enough to be the only. Like I curate spaces so that you find your people, you find community, you find your tribe. And that's whether it's women who want to know about Jesus. There's new moms who feel alone and isolated because you just had a baby and everyone's telling you to stay at home and nurse and shelter in. And you're like, but I'm going stir crazy by myself in this house with this baby who can't talk back to me. That happens. And I have all these questions and I have all these fears and concerns that I feel like if I say something, people are going to question my ability to be a good mom. And so I suffer here in silence. So I curate spaces for people like that, right? Like when you feel othered, when you feel only, when you feel like, I want you to know like, no, that's a lie. There are others just like you. Here, look, I'll show you. And so right now, that's what I do with my writing. And literally like, it's like a fraction. And what I mean by that is you have a fraction, you have a numerator, and you have a denominator. I think my numerator is always going to be different. And so the modality in which I tell stories, whether it's through dance, through acting, through singing, through writing, through poetry, through stand-up, the numerators are always going to be different, but the denominator is always going to be storytelling. And so I think right now, I'm probably the most open that I've been to the various forms of storytelling. I think sometimes I get in this mindset where I'm like, oh no, this is the season for writing. Oh no, all those 5 years were a season for comedy. Oh no, those years prior were a season for songwriting. Which is interesting because I don't think I've written more than one song in 20 years. I have an arsenal of songs. I have enough to put out an album. I've not written any new ones probably in 20 years. One. So I think where I'm at right now is like, okay, God, you determine the numerator. I'm secure in my denominator. It's storytelling. God, what does that look like today? Today it could be a podcast. Tomorrow it could be stand-up. The following day it could be emceeing, right? Like whatever that numerator is, I'm going to give that to Jesus. Like you got that. You tell me how you want me to do some storytelling today. Maybe it's sharing my faith. Maybe it's studying the Bible with someone. Like there are so many different ways for me to tell my story. I'm gonna let God figure out that topic. As long as I stay true to the bottom one, I think I'm good. So what's next for me? I have a couple of gigs coming up. They're all private gigs. Doing a little MC work here and in Georgia. I got a couple of retreats going on where I'm helping women feel confident about sharing their story in a really elegant, luxurious, like setting and environment. I think when women are pampered and they feel empowered, it's a different energy.
Mhm.
And that energy usually evokes this confidence where they feel okay, like they have permission now
Mhm.
to be them. Inhibitions down, authenticity up. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm having fun. I'm having fun. And sometimes money's funny and sometimes it's great. And so again, I stand true to that denominator.
Mhm.
I'm a storyteller. And as long as I stay telling my story, I think God's gonna take care of the rest. What's family?
Mhm. And so how can they find out more about what you have going on? Do you have a website?
Yes, so
Okay.
Jory1ale.com.
You're gonna have to look at the bloopers for that. That'll be on a special blooper.
So
Behind the scenes.
my name Jory O'Neill, no apostrophe. JORIONEALE 1L .com. You go there. I am slowly connecting the dots and all of the different things that I'm doing so that there's like this one hub where you can find out like everything that I'm doing, the shows that I have coming up, the joint ventures I got going on, the collaborations I'm working on, and my podcast. So I'm realizing now that my podcast is not on there. And we are doing our 100th episode soon. So I'm excited about that. To say I have 100 episodes on a podcast is bananas to me. But yeah, jorionil.com, all the social medias, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Jory O'Neill, just my first and last name. And yeah, check me out. If you like comedy, I post a lot of my comedy online. I know people are like, oh, don't give away your jokes. Listen, they're not for me. So if you like comedy, Fun Friday Live, a whole library, a whole playlist on YouTube. So check it out. It's hours. It is hours of content. So enjoy, be blessed, have fun, laugh with some good music. I do enjoy having a good time. So if you want to have a good time, hit me up.
And make sure to check out the new books out, More Than Enough.
Yeah,
And
before she knew Jesus. Yeah. I'm not even promoting my books. Look at me.
Yep.
Being all bad.
They're amazing. So, well, thank you for tuning in today. Thank you, Jory. We appreciate your time and just the amazing experience that you've been through and sharing that with others and wanting to unlock that and create an environment for that unity. So I love that heart. And so let's see what God's going to do next. I'm excited.
All right, before we wrap up today, I want to remind you, if a book is on your heart, then this Sunday is your chance to finally take that first step. Join me for a live writing masterclass, and we'll break down the book writing process and get you moving forward from idea to execution. I'm excited for you. I don't want you to miss this. So head over to jorioneill.com/your_story_matters. Thanks for tuning in to 30 Minutes of Power. We hope today's episode inspired you to take action and make a positive change in your life. Remember, your power is meant to empower others. So share this episode with someone who needs encouragement today. We'd love to hear from you. So connect with us on Instagram at 30 Minutes of Power or email us at azironsharpensiron@gmail.com. Until next time, stay empowered and keep empowering others.
30 minutes of power.